What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It is fucking early on a Saturday morning. Me and Will are currently on our way down to the shop at AD Cycles, Bike Lab, whatever you want to call it. The company name is actually AD Cycles, don't know why I call it fucking Bike Lab, but anyway, it's sponsored by AndyTheBike. Watch his YouTube channel, phenomenal guy.
Link in the description.
Yes. Right, there has been a package delivered today, or yesterday, supposedly, that Andy has taken care of. Very, very excited for this. It is our order from Upgrade Bikes. So finally, be able to rebuild the jump bikes, which is amazing. If you haven't done so already, smash that like button, please. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't done so already, give us a subscribe and don't forget to ding dong that notification bell. So we're going to be turning up at the shop real soon. So see you when we're there.
I saw it! Right, so it's been a couple of days since that last time lapse. Unfortunately, the box got stuck in the post, so all we could do was basically strip Elliott's bike down, which is the drone that you saw in the stand. However, the box has now turned up, so what we're going to do is going to open the box, show you guys what we got, and install everything we can. Why can't we do your wheels?
My rear hub hasn't turned up.
Rear hub's from a different supplier, which hasn't turned up yet. Probably turn up tomorrow. And then we'll be able to build his wheels up, but we'll be able to show you what rims we're going to run and what tyres we're going to run. However, we do have the front hub, which is a through axle, so we could always build that wheel up today, which should be pretty cool. But we're just going to get into opening the box now. Let's do it.
So to start with, we've got the DMR Motos. Super Motos even. It's a very, very lovely looking tyre.
The absolute tan wall beast.
Stickers as
Sticker
well.
packs from DMR, thank you very much.
Yep. Right, those tan wall beasts look sexy as fuck.
These are for my bike. They are the DMR Bikes Supermoto.
More stickers.
24-inch. Insane. They will be going on my bike once I've sorted my life out.
Do you know what they are? Insane. Insane. Right, moving on to my ones. These are the DMR Moto Diggers.
Also available.
Also, they are a very, very aggressive tyre for dirt, gravel, anything really off-road. However, they're not so aggressive such as the Maxxis that you can actually run them on parks as well. Like, you don't have to run them on downhills. You can run them, what are they called, pump tracks. You could even run them on skate parks. They will restrict your speed a little bit, but not massively. Moving on to the rims.
This is a bit you're excited about, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you tell what it is yet? Right then, lovely people. These are the brand new 2019 DMR DeeVees.
24-inch.
24-inch, 36-hole DMR DeeVees. I've been waiting for them for so long. As I'm not sure if most of you know, Will has stupidly ordered the wrong stem.
Idiot! However, it is exactly the same stem that I will be getting. It is the DMR Defy 50, so it's 50mm reach, and I ordered it in the wrong clamp size because I'm an idiot. My BergTech bars are currently on back order, so they should be here sometime this week. They're the Josh Bryson Signature Edition, so they only come in 35mm clamp size, unlike every other bar that BergTech sell, which also comes in 31.8, and I ordered 31.8 in the DMR Defy stem, which sucks, so I need to go down to the supplier and change it for 35mm clamp size. That there is Elliott's chainring, however, does come with the DMR top cap, which is pretty awesome, and I just like this style of stem, very open, so you can see more of the bar, which is pretty dope. So like I said, I am going to have to return this to the supplier and swap it for the right clamp size. Idiot.
Right, as I mentioned in the previous video, and I'm sure you probably saw in the time lapse, my DMR wing bars, which are genuine bars, are in anodised blue. Didn't really go with anything else on the bike because I've murdered it out. So I've ordered the DMR 20-tooth chainring in anodised blue. It is sexy as fuck. Man.
That's
right.
awesome.
So this paired with the hub that I've ordered, which is a 9-tooth hub, which 20/9 should make quite a nice riding experience, get a decent amount of power.
With the 24-inch wheels.
With the 24-inch wheels, opposed to running 25/9 on 20-inch wheels. Like I said before, I've come into this from BMXing, so yeah, let's get to it. Right, fortunately, this box has just turned up, because without what's inside here, I wouldn't be able to install my chainring, because this is a nano drive chainring. Will's new stem.
There's my stem that got swapped. I managed to get them to swap it for me, so that's awesome.
Down there.
That can go with the rest of the stuff which is in this box. However, I can't actually fit that because I'm waiting for BergTech to send me my bars, but that's a whole nother saga. The Cult piece. DMR 2-piece Cult Cranks. Nano drive compatible. So what I mean by that is that it has two holes here. This hole would be for a standard chainring like a 25 or a 27 or bigger tooth chainring. This little one here is for nano drive, which in the case of the DMR spin chainring, which is what we have here, is the 23, 22 and 20 tooth version. That bolt there that's closer is the one that we're going to need to use to bolt that on.
I don't know what I'm going to fucking say. Oh shit, are you rolling?
That's making the cut. That's
oh jeez. So now that I've unboxed everything, I'm going to start sticking it on the bike. Right, when you're installing these, best way to know which is your left and which is your right side, the right hand bearing, bottom bracket bearing, will always have a machined line going all the way around it.
The right hand cup has a line there, the left hand cup smooth. And obviously they thread different ways, but if you know about bikes, you already know that about bottom bearing cups. But let's get it in.
Most important rule when you're doing bikes or anything is lube. Always lube up your threads. This makes for easy removal when you come to change them. Unfortunately, no matter how good your stuff is, whatever gear you're running, it will fail at some point. Whether that's down to rust or anything really. Rust, dirt. It will fail. Another thing that I would highly recommend is always clean up your threads before you start. Just makes it even easier to get everything in.
What length cranks have you gone for, Elliot?
170mm cranks is what I've gone for. I personally prefer having running shorter cranks because then it gives you a little bit more clearance off the ground. And also you can get a bit more torque out of them, I find.
And
so,
you burn pretty goddamn quick, so if you accidentally hit a pedal on the floor, you're going flying.
Yeah. Highly recommend watching Matt Jones's video on how to do berms. He will explain it all, that if you're running really long cranks, sorry about the compressor, and you drop your inside foot going around that berm, so if you're going around a left hand berm, you drop your left foot, you will die. There is no in between, there's no, oh I might get a graze, you're dead. That's it. Yeah, so massive shout out to Matt Jones.
Massive shout out to my dad again for letting us stay after work to work on our own shit. Shout out Eddie Cycles, shout out AndyTheBike.
Another top tip, if you have cleaned your threads right and you've greased and all of a sudden it goes very very tight very quickly, do not screw it in like any further, because 9 times out of 10 you will cross thread it.
And good luck getting it out.
Yeah, if you cross thread it, that's bye bye frame, bye bye life, bye bye wallet, bye bye money. Yeah, it becomes very expensive. Right, so the next thing that we're going to do now that our BB is installed is attach the chainring onto the crank. Dead simple, it's one bolt. If you mess this up, you shouldn't be working on bikes. Right. One thing I find is I will never do these up all the way until it's actually mounted inside the bike. This allows it some free play that it can move and adjust so it sits where it needs to sit. Right, with these spacers, this is a 2mm spacer with a lip. You make sure that the lip side goes against the bearing. Right?
On the drive side,
on
that's
the drive
2mm.
side. And then on the
non-drive
side, we should be able to just run one spacer with any luck.
So you have a 7mm spacer with a lip against the cup on the non-drive side, and then obviously we're going to have a spacer on there as well, which we need for this particular build, and then we're just going to grease up the axle before putting it in, because that's always a good idea. You can never use too much grease.
It's better to over grease than under grease. Another good thing about grease and everything is it does stop, well, it doesn't necessarily stop, but it keeps the elements at bay, which should prevent it rusting so fast.
Bit of gentle persuasion.
Yeah.
2mm spacer with lip. DMR do provide a selection of spacers for you to use with the Cult Cranks, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, pretty good.
This is a press-on crankset.
Yeah.
So by winding this bolt, what it should be doing is essentially pressing this in towards the bottom bracket.
I'd say it's pretty close.
I'd say that's lined up, mate.
Really, off camera. Right, when you're doing these, it's very, very important. 1, to grease up the axle as you saw me do earlier. 2, to make sure that you're actually lined up, because this is a 42 or 40 something spline axle. So many opportunities to make it wrong. To do it wrong.
To not line up the cranks with each other, basically. They won't be dead opposite, they'll be slightly out by a degree.
Which, I mean, you probably wouldn't notice. Well, I'd probably notice, and it would really wind me up because I get wound up by tiny little things. And thirdly, if at any point the axle looks like, the crank looks like it's not going on straight, stop. Because if you fuck up the threads, you fucked up your cranks, your life, your job, your relationship. Like you
basically, you die.
Yeah.
To quote Matt Jones, you die. Of course, there is a less gentle way of doing this, which is just to smack it with a mallet. However, here at AD Cycles, we don't hold with such riffraff. We have the proper tools for such things.
And the thing we don't have, fortunately, DMR supply. Not sure if I mentioned it earlier in this video, but DMR, when you buy the Cult Cranks from DMR, they include this pressing tool, which not a lot of companies would do.
No.
They go, oh, you want to buy this? Oh, well, you're going to have to buy our tool to fit it.
Cannondale.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had a bit of a cough there.
Yeah. You should really get that sorted.
I know.
But fortunately, here at AD Cycles, we have the skills and expertise to know that you don't always need manufacturers' special tools.
Yes.
There are ways around it.
If you do happen to have a Cannondale chain set that you cannot remove because you don't have the Cannondale tool, drop by, we'll get it off for you. Get in there. What are you saying? Are you happy?
Mate, I'm so psyched. You have no idea how happy I am with this. Just make sure that it's got no movement, no lateral movement.
It's silent for the first time.
Yeah, silent for the first time. Well, to be fair, I think that 32k uphill bike ride.
Yes, thanks Chris for that.
Those of you that don't know Chris, he is my brother-in-law.
He has a road bike.
He's a road bike. He's very, very into road cycling. I very much don't. Yeah. So here, me and Will are sat chilling at mine. I think we've just been for a ride, and then he turns around. Oh, God. Says, yeah, let's come for a bike ride with me. Oh yeah, it just do something small. Yeah, 32k later, or those of you that are still working miles, that's 20 miles of uphill riding on a single speed jump bike is not pleasant.
Thoroughly earned a Domino's after that one.
Yeah.
Pressing tool removed.
World's longest thread.
One eternity later.
Might want to cut this out of the video.
There we go.
Right, that's on, and then what I'm going to do...
We can now install the pedals.
Right, so I'm now going to install the pedals. These are the... I need to call them the DMRs. They're not. I used to run DMR V8s until they seized up mid-jump and they were thrown as hard as I could into the bin. So these are the Matt Hoffman pedals.
Yeah, basically they're the Matt Hoffman signature pedal. They were knocking around the shop, and again, we are supported by my dad, AD Cycles. His channel is AndyTheBike, so if you're into your bike stuff, highly recommend you go and subscribe over there. Just drafted in Harris to fit the pedals because we couldn't be asked. Just going to stand and have a break. Also, story on my bike. So yeah, we managed to get the stem replaced with the correct clamp size, so I've now got a 35 clamp stem. Spoke to Bergtech today, and they said they were getting the delivery in for the Josh Brysing signature bars today, so they should be sent out tomorrow for next day courier, so they'll be here Thursday. And the worst thing is that the Fox forks that I have bought are a tapered fork. I thought I could make them fit with a Cane Creek headset. Turns out I can't, because it's a different type of headset converter, which means I'm going to need to get a new frame. So I am now in negotiations with DMR to get a sect frame. So that may be turning up, and basically I will have to do a whole bike build video on the new frame. So I'll take everything off my old transition frame, put it onto the new sect frame with the new forks and the new bars and the new stem.
The steez piece.
And the new tyres. Yo. I might keep that for a separate video and do a bike builds, dream bike build style video. Silent, just putting the bike together. Should be pretty cool. Me and Elliott doing that. Should be pretty dope.
Shout out G Miller.
Shout out G Miller for the dream bike builds. We've literally binge watched his whole channel. If you haven't watched G Milner's channel, go check it out right now. I'll leave a link in the description. It's insane.
Right, now that we've got the chainring, the cranks and the BB in, I'm now going to bleed my Magura hydraulic rim brakes, and we're going to come back to you after this when I've got my spokes, because not only did all of this turn up, my rear hub's also turned up. This, well, I'll explain it once Will is building my wheels.
Right guys, we're now at my house and the spokes turned up today, so we're going to get to building Elliott's wheels. You've decided to go for 3 cross on
The front hub
front.
and 4 cross on the rear.
I'm going to build the front wheel. No, I'm going to build the rear wheel, because this is, well, Elliott's first time building a wheel. I've built a couple of wheels, so I'm going to go for the 4 cross because I think that's more complicated. And Elliott is going to build the front, and then we're basically just going to lace them in now, and then we'll transition to the shop after this time lapse, back to the workshop where we'll get them nice and dished and trued, and then we'll get the tyres on them, potentially build up your bike finally.
Yeah, it's going to be so dope.
Right,
So psyched.
run the time lapse.
Right, what's up guys? Me, Elliott again. We're back at AD Cycles now. Just redishing my wheels. As you saw from the time lapse, we were actually building the wheels at Wills. building the wheels at Will's last night. So now we've got them in the truing stand. Got the pretty bike down here. We have got AndyTheBike here with us, as it is his shop. He is the expert on these, so yeah, we're just gonna watch him do it. As Will's now demonstrating how loud my rear hub is. Right, for those of you wondering, this is an AD Cycles 9-tooth Rear Bmx Hub. If you want one, come down, you can get them in store. They retail at £53, which is pretty decent for the hub it is.
So, I kind of dished this by eye last night at my house. I've had this in the stand this morning because this was my wheel that I did. I built the rear wheel cross 4, so it's going to be stronger because Elliott always lands rear wheel first normally, and it's going to take a lot of punishment. So I built this one cross 4, and I trued it up this morning, and we just checked the dishing now with the stand, the gauge, and put it in the frame to check on there as well, and it seems to be dished, and it is definitely true. So that's the rear wheel done, so we can get the rim tape and the tyre on this bad boy. My dad's just doing the front wheel because Elliott made a bit of a hash of that last night. So he's redoing that right now. And then we'll get the rim tape and the tyre on that, and then that'll be on the bike. I didn't actually check which tube you just gave me.
Right, what we're doing now is going to fit the chain, because as you can see, got the rear wheel in, which is exceptionally tight tolerances to the seat, which is exactly how I like it. We've got the front wheel in as well. Right, let's get the chain on. Right, the chain I've gone for isn't anything particularly special. It's a KMC chain. These are $5.99 from AD Cycles. As chains go, it's reasonably heavy duty, not as much as the gusset chains, but it will do until this one snaps.
It is a single speed chain as well, so we're not going to have to take any, well, great amount of links out, hopefully. And this is where Elliott has to be very careful, because he's just painted his pedals. Well, touched them up.
is the chain on. Just tighten up these axle bolts.
Yes, alright.
Is that right?
You might need to get a rear stay protector, but you can get a DMR one off eBay pretty cheap, to be fair.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. She's pretty much there.
That is bike complete for Elliott.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Outside out. Oh look, the wheel goes round.
Right now, right now.
Oh look, the wheel goes round.
Fuck's sake. Right, this is the bike all done now. It's so dialed, I don't know if I'm going to be able to ride it. I've never ridden a bike that is so dialed. I've always had shitters. I'm so psyched. Absolutely so psyched with it. Right. Next one on the books is to get this dickhead's one built, because I don't know if you know this, he went out and bought Fox 32s that obviously have tapered steerer, has a tapered steerer, but his bike doesn't have a tapered head tube. Does it, Will?
No, it does not.
So he now needs to go out and buy a new frame and new wheels and tyres. Sound like that's a lie, he's got tyres there.
No, it doesn't. Because the new frame has 24-inch wheel, isn't it? So
I just need to change the
change the.
hub because I need a through axle now, which I also didn't think about.
And I'd just like to say thank you very much to Andy from AD Cycles.
Yes.
We have already given you a shout out.
We've already given you a shout out, Andy.
Shout outs.
Yeah. For those of you that haven't seen Andy before, this is AndyTheBike, owner of AD Cycles.
Just get my best side.
Yeah. He is a absolute god amongst men. So massive shout out to him for helping us and letting us stay late.
And use his tools.
Yeah. Massive shout out to Will.
That's the workshop.
Shout out to me. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Karen for the food.
Shout out to Harris for absolutely fuck all.
Yeah. Shout out to Harris because he's a bell end.
Shout out to Adam because he's always in the way.
Harris,
Shout out to
Harris
Matt.
is entertainment.
Entertainment?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, it is. It's great fun.
Yeah.
Look.
I'm getting bored of this now. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like on it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you click that subscribe button and ding dong the notification bell when it appears so you get notified next time we upload, which hopefully will be very soon when my frame turns up and the hub and I've rebuilt my wheel, and then we can basically build me a whole new bike, which would be pretty sick. I might do it like a dream bike build style, not too sure yet. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.